Hello guys, how are you? People that I know, a lot of people that I know. All right. Give it up for Christian Hunt for letting me perform here tonight. Give it up for him for pronouncing my name right. You know, I love my name. There are certain things about my name that I love. One of them is that I can always tell when a telemarketer is calling me. Yeah, because there's always that pause right before he says my name. He's like, hello, can I speak to He-Man? But if it's a call coming from India, a call center in India, I know that too. Because those guys nail my name. Those guys are on it. They're like, hello, could I speak to Mr. Hemu Nair? My name is John. Like, oh, you pronounce my name better than I do. John. My name has seen a lot of rough days, though. There have been plenty of times it's been mispronounced. Like the worst thing I've been called, and this was by a woman, was hymen. Ouch. Yeah. What I love about telling people this is that all the women laugh, get some reaction, and roughly half the men just kind of sit there silently with a blank stare. I'm not sure they know what a hymen is. I always notice someone Googling that. But you know, being in comedy, I realized that Hemu is kind of a funny name. I might need a stage name, so I've come up with one. Let me know what you think. Aziz Ansari. Huh? That one gets gigs, right? I thought I could be like the knockoff Aziz Ansari, you know? It's spelled with 3 Z's. I do all of his Kanye West jokes, like shittier versions of it. I'm the knockoff Aziz Ansari. So good news, guys. A couple of weeks ago, I got married. Thank you very much. Marriage is wonderful, wonderful. I'm still getting used to it. I just realized I left my ring at home. We're cooking together. Marriage is a wonderful thing. I'm real glad. I'm just loving it. And one of the greatest things about it is that I no longer have to online date. Man, I'm glad to close that shit show chapter in my life. Oh man, I had some gems. Like, yeah, there were plenty of nice people that I met. But there was one date that I went on that I didn't realize until she got there that she was a professional magician. Okay, she said on her profile that she was 30 years old, and that she was into magic. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. When she got there, she was wearing all black, had some glitter on her, her face, and like had a bag of magic tricks. And I was like, I had always wanted to go on a magical date. Did not realize I would be on a date with a magician. Professional magician. She showed me some tricks throughout the evening, but I thought the best trick that she showed me was magically turning 39. And between that and her being a little bit mean to me, I did my own disappearing act. A lot. Then there's this other woman that I happened to go out with once. Okay, I just went out with her once, and I said, I don't think it's going to work out. She showed up at my apartment, okay, in tears. And I was like, oh man. And she's like, I Google searched you, and I found your resume, and you're so impressive. And I was like, oh man. And I just looked at her, and I couldn't help but think, if only my potential employers were that enthusiastic. But give it up for my wife. She's sitting right there in the second row. For the record, we met online. I went online. I did what everybody does. I Googled her. I ended up finding her on C-SPAN. She's a journalist. She did this in-depth interview about education policy, and 2 things went through my head. I was like, wow, I think she might be the one. And the second one it's the first and only time I'm going to be this excited about C-SPAN. She's Indian American, just like me. I did not think that was going to happen. You know, I did not think I was going to end up with an Indian American, because when I was in college and in my 20s, I always got rejected by Indian women. And I just didn't really get why. And years later, I think about it, I realized I was a lot of things I did wrong. I was immature, I was naive, and then the two big things were not being tall and white. Life would have been so much easier had I just been tall and white. Right, tall white guy? I did this last time. Some guy was like, I highly recommend it. So anyway, here we are together, and you know, I'd say, you know, she was attracted to me, right? Like, not only for my intellect and my comedic sense on par with Chris Rock. Right? But at the time, I was working out with a personal trainer, and I know it's kind of worn off. But this guy, like, I signed up with him, and the day I was supposed to meet him in the afternoon, he starts texting me starting in the morning, and his text went something like this: eat clean, drink water, attack your day. And then he'd end his text like this: hurrah! The Marine thing, you know. And he'd spell it U-U-U-R-A-H-H, all caps with a bunch of exclamation points. And I didn't quite know how to respond to that. So I responded with hurrah, but in lower caps. And he texted me back immediately, and he's like, all caps, man! I was like, holy shit, I can't even slack off when I'm texting. At this point, I'm like totally frightened to meet with this guy. So I end up meeting him, and his workouts were no joke. 1 mile sprint on the treadmill, okay? 1 mile sprint. Then 45 minutes straight of circuit training. You guys know what circuit training is, right? Like 45 minutes straight, no, non-stop. And then, just when I thought it was over, we go into resistance training. You guys know what that is, right? That's where he tried to sign me up for my next appointment, and I told him to fuck off. I showed him. So now we're Nirvi and I are living together. We moved in together in Woodley Park, a hipster neighborhood. But before that, I was living in DuPont Circle. Okay. Woo! All right. Woo! Had a couple of DuPont Circle fans. Oh, my friend Steve from Texas. But right before I moved there, a couple of immature friends of mine were like, "Oh, moving to the gay part of town." And I was like, "Come on, guys. I've got very close gay friends. I'm very comfortable around gay men. I'm totally fine moving to that neighborhood." But once I got there, I realized that among gay men, I am Mr. Hot Pants. I was like, whoa, man, I was getting looks left and right. Gay men, one after the other, and it's not so much like younger gay men, you know, they would give me subtle looks. I wasn't quite sure, you know. It was always men over the age of 50, gay men over the age of 50 that were like rocking me out. You know? Wow, I would walk into restaurants and I would just get looks. I would get like hellos, big smiles. I can't forget this one guy. I walk into like a restaurant and he goes, and at this point, you know, a lot of complex emotions going through me, you know, complex emotions. You know, my brain is like, my brain and my heart are like, this is very flattering. This is awesome, you know, this really is a self-esteem boost for me. There were about 10 nerve endings out of my loins that were like, we could try this out. What's wrong with that? The other $500 million were like, I don't know, we're not feeling it. My butt was like, run, man! Run! anything in you, man. This guy's crazy. My brain is like, hey, Buck, quit being so homophobic, man. It's okay. It's okay. But all in all, like, it's awesome, you know. It's a great feeling to be coveted like that by anybody, you know. And I would just walk down, you know, through that area, just strutting my stuff, you know, and getting looks left and right. And I even had a song going through my head that, you know, it's loosely based on The Girl from Ipanema, with my own words to it. You guys want to hear it? Yeah. Okay, let's get it. Small and brown and young and sexy. Boy from DuPont Circus. And when he passes, the old gay men go.